Okay, guys, I'm back. And I'm probably going to stay zoomed out this time because I'm going to have to handle this mask a little more than keeping it in camera mode here. All right, so let me lower this a little bit. And then I'll show you what I'm doing as I'm handling it, the mask. Okay. No, I did not forget to miss that. I just didn't have it set up yet, so I'm gonna mist that hair black for you, Pipe Master. Don't worry, I didn't forget it. I just have to. Uh, I had to clean up in here. This was a mess. I had hair everywhere. I mean hair. I emptied my trash can. I got everything where it needs to be. And why am I caught? Okay, come on, forward. There we go. All right. I know I'm a little bit in frame. Okay, so I'm breaking out the Dremel. And I'm going to try and fix these eyebrows. Now, you know these sand discs? All right. Let me show you. I'll just show you one that's in better shape. That's more than one. There we go. We only need one. I got my brushes over here. Okay, so you see these sand discs right here? Well, I usually, for this kind of purpose, because I need a smaller circumference. Now I could cut the edge and cut it all the way to the metal, but then my thickness is going to be too thick. So what I do is I peel off the sand disc off this metal support that's here that attaches to the Dremel, and I use this right here. That's all I use to and I'll show you how nice and thin that is. I have it on my blade. I have it on my Dremel already. I don't like wasting those discs. See, I peeled that off of there. I peeled that metal thing off of there. See? I peeled that off of the sand disc. Just wanted you to see what I was doing and how I do it. Sometimes you have to create your own tools to get something accomplished. The reason why, now see, I put that disc, I put that metal thing, and it's on my Dremel now. The reason why is because I need that smaller circumference to Dremel in some hairlines into this mask, because on this particular mask we lost all the detail in the hair. Now what I want to do is pull his mask right up too close to me so I can see how I did it. Okay, so we're just going to put this on a low speed because we're not trying to. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I'm just putting a little bit of detail back into this. And I'm just hitting spots. Yes, it'll be different, but it'll still give you what. Little higher speed. Yeah, that's good. All right, some details back in that. Don't want to hit that mast, man. That'll be a nightmare. Get all those little pieces off of there. You see how it feels and looks. All right, that gives me the detail that I'm after. Okay, and I'll tell you another little thing I did for this. I don't want no dirt in my cups. Oh, okay. Now I think I'm going to wipe this down. We're going to take this off. I always like to keep one of these right on one of these. I call them grabbers. I keep it right on there because I use that a lot. I use that little method right there. But what I'm also going to do is take this out to the grinding wheel and grind this into a sharp edge so it really grabs, so it really cuts better. This isn't a sharp edge because I just did it, but it'll do the job. And now the dremeling part is done. And I want to make sure all these little burrs are off of there. Yeah, there's going to be a little rough spots in there. I don't really care because I'm going to, once I paint that over, you're not going to see it. I'll do a wash. Anyway, let me see. Let's unplug the Dremel. And now, what I can do, guys, is put. Let me tie this up first and clean this desk off a little bit because I don't want these specks of dirt all over my mask when I go to. That's good enough. I don't have to go crazy. It's just enough to hang on to it and slide this back. I've got my, yeah, I did find my alcohol finally. This is 99% pure alcohol right here. Isopropyl alcohol. I've got my new Q-tips. I'm going to have to go get more of those still. They were out of stock with a lot of it. Of course, what else is new? Out of stock on everything, I guess. So, and now it's summertime. And there's so many people down here, and they don't realize we're a small community in the wintertime, and we don't stock our shelves like they do in the big city. So we run out of things like in a day. So it's terrible. All right, so what did I want to do? Yes, I wanted to, you know, what I really want to get my hands on is where the hell did I put my paper towels? I had a roll of paper towels that I've been, damn it. Thought I had them stuck behind here. Yeah, they are. They're right back there. Of course. You know what? I got a grabber. What am I thinking? Boom. I got them. It's pretty bad when your room's so damn congested that you need a grabber just to reach across a tabletop. That's terrible. All right, so the other thing I want to do is I want to put you guys on so I can read your comments. I just swept the floor too. Oh well. Oh Jesus. All right, so we're going to keep that one around. Keep this one here. I need a pad, my pad for my mouse. And I'm going to keep my scissors on this desk. I've got the cups. Did I knock them off too? No, they're right there. But I can't go without these things. Gotta have my Q-tips. So right after I'm done doing this, after I'm done doing this wash, all right, let me put you on first so I can read your comments, and I'm gonna have to keep my glasses on because I don't need any pictures for what I'm about to do. I pretty much know my paint scheme now. So, actually, maybe I'll keep one. You see, what's a really, really good one to use? No, I'm not doing Halloween 2. So, let me see. What's going on? That's not going to be good enough. Anyway, all right, so I know what I'm doing. Yeah. All right, so let's put you on so I can see your comments. All these notifications. Go to my channel. Let's go to the YouTube channel. All right, what's up, Crusher? I see you guys now. Pipe Master. Yeah, it looks really good. Let me show you. I have to mist it black, Pipe Master. I did not do it yet. I know, I didn't forget. I just didn't have my compressor set up, because I've been cleaning up in here as much as possible anyway. I just put new trash bag in, took the trash out, Let me see. So there's a dead on shot. There's the mask behind it, so you can see the hairline. What I did was I moved over the calic, the little hair strand that goes this way. All right, I moved it from here over to here, and I shortened the horns. I made the horns a little shorter, and you can see these are short. Everything's glued down nice. There's a horn there. It looks good, man. It really does. The hair job looks I think, a lot better now. Don't worry, Crusher. I'm going to adjust your mask. I'm going to shorten your horns. I'm going to fix. I'm going to make it look like this. I don't know if I can change this part though on your mask, Crusher. But from now on, I know that from now on, I'm going to put the hair, the little dipsy do here, is going to go right about here, a little bit off center from the mask, instead of way over here. All right, so I might be able to fix it. I don't know. We'll see. It depending on how thick that glue is on there. I call this glue. I don't know what the hell it's called. It's an acrylic or something. But man, it really did. It looks nice. I just knew as I was doing this, the more I do this, the better I'm going to get. You know, the horns can't be so long that it just really draws your eye away from the mask. It really does. It irritates you. The horns have to be a shorter. And I went off the Ken Hertland picture to create this look. And Pipe Master, you know what the Ken Hertland is, so why don't you look at the Ken Hertland and take a look at what I did here. I don't have it up right now. Yeah, yes, Pipe Master, it's so funny, you pointed it out right away. And I am doing that, don't worry. I'm going to paint it black right after this because I did set up the air compressor again. So I'm just going to do this first. All right, now I'm going to give you guys a little heads up. All right. Okay. I know I'm going to get better and better at this. So guys, forgive me if your masks are a little bit better on the next update, you know, that kind of thing. What happens is you just kind of learn as you go. And I'm using a different picture that gave me a really dead-on shot to replicate what I was trying to do. Now, I've got my bed sheets here. Now you know what I want to do? I want to cut these into respectable lengths because I need smaller pieces. All right, that's enough for now. Jesus, look at the size of this. We're wasting a lot of bed sheet by doing. All right, so we're just going to keep them over there. Look how long these are. I think maybe I just didn't get around to cutting them. I did these a while back. These are way too long. And this is for rubbing out. I'm a little nervous about doing this thing that I want to try. So what I'm going to do before I go and actually do it to somebody's mask, including my own, is I'm going to use an old mask and try to spray the weathering on with the ink. All right, and then because it's an alcohol-based ink, I'm going to rub off the ink with alcohol. And I've got 99.99% pure alcohol, isopropyl. So it should like wash right off. So what you do is you airbrush it all black, right? And then you wipe off, you let it dry, though you have to let the ink dry. And then you take your isopropyl alcohol, wet your sheet, your sheet pieces, and you rub it off. Now, before I go and experiment with that to see exactly how good that works, I don't want to do it to this mask. I'm going to stick to the method that I know. But it would make life a lot easier instead of doing all these dirty washes and everything. I can like rub off what I want to rub off. It should work good. Now, before the one thing about doing the washes that I forgot to mention, you always want to. All right, you always want to put a very light dusting of Plasti Dip. I spray a little dusting of Plasti Dip over top of the whole thing. Just a real fine stun. You don't put a lot. Put a very light dusting, and all that does is it keeps you from rubbing off. When you're rubbing off that stuff, keeps you from rubbing off the other. You don't want to rub your white off, and then you end up having to respray and respray and respray. I learned that lesson a while back, but here's another problem I'm having right now. Is I gotta have a little bit of Windex because it's ammonia based. See, Windex has ammonia in it, and I'm just gonna rub this off with a damp towel to get all those little pieces of rubber off of there, so I don't end up with a really dirty from doing that. Now that won't hurt the Plasti Dip, the ammonia. It won't hurt it at all. So I'm just prepping the mask right now. I'm just trying to get all this stuff cleaned up so I don't have any rubber specks on the surface of this mask when I'm painting it. Okay, so let that dry a second. I can heat gun it to really dry it fast, but why waste my time? All right, so that's cleaned off. Now I don't have to worry about any of these little pieces of rubber that came off of this. Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't want any rubber boogers all over the mask. So that looks good. That's good, and it's pretty dry. So now, next thing I want to do is I want to make my washes. And I'm going to use spray water. I'm just going to use my spray. I forgot my water. I got it right behind me though, so that's no big deal. Spray bottle full of water. All right, this is filled to the top too, so we're good there. Now I'll fight with my chair for a second here. And I wish there was something else I can do with this. Lower it down a little tiny bit. All right, so we're going to put some black. I have a mud wash, but it's very thin. I think I'm going to have to add more. All right, there's the black, mostly black. And I use a little bit of this raw sienna. A little raw sienna mixed in with it to create a nice mud. Just a couple drops of that. All right. And I do want to put some water in here. too much. I'm going to mix that as I go. Now what I did was I angled my brush. I cut it on an angle. I got these long fiber cheap brushes, and I don't waste alcohol on this part. Yeah, it's pretty runny. And it's muddy, pretty black, tell you the truth. So maybe I might add a little more brown to that. Just a touch. Just a touch instead of a touch. There you go. I never make like 3 cups of paint all at once. I kind of want to layer this. Layer it. Remember to layer it. That's muddy. All right, so before I go starting here, do I want to do this method this way? Yeah, I do. I'm just going to do a little bit on this side. Now, because this plasti dip's on here, it's going to bead up a little bit. I'm just going to do the top of this face real good. Remember, always the first thing you want to do is your wash. You want to do the wash first. One side of the face, then the other. I'm going to do this just a tad bit different for you guys. I think you're going to like it. Kind of letting it dry. I am going to towel, just dab it just a little bit, not much. Just going to dab it just a little bit. Just to create randomness to it. And help dry it just a little. And we can leave this, we can save that. We can use that for another dabbing. One more dabbing from that. Now, what I want to do is I want to use my heat gun and dry this just a little bit. I just think I've been wasting too much time with not putting the plasti dip on. I think that definitely helps Helps a lot. It helps a lot. Alright, that's dry enough to where I want to go. And look at the detail that's in there. Wow, man, that looks pretty good. I'm happy. I'm pleased. I'm very happy with the way that turned out. Using that little method. Okay, so now we're going to use some rubbing alcohol. And we are going to clean this bad boy off. Now, this is called rubbing out. Believe me, I'm not going to stop until this is cleaned off. This will leave more detail, I believe, doing it this way. Okay. Well, I should have like a spray bottle. Oops. Just wasted a lot of my... You got to remember, this gets a light coating overcoat. All right, need a new rag. This gets a light coating of white paint over top of the whole thing. All I'm trying to do, this is how you do this. This is a matter of layering and layering and layering to give that rough, that dirty look. Now this is one of the major steps that you do with doing the Halloween 2 mask. See, this will come off. Okay, now what I need is my hand up inside of this. I don't think I'm going to let it dry as long as I did that time. You want it to dry just a little bit, but not too much. What this does is it really pops the features. All right. It's getting there. It's getting there. That sheet's dead. That sheet is done. You know what? I think I'm going to use a little paper towel. It'll pull more off. What happened here? What you really want to do is you want to make sure that on the spots where your highlights are, and make sure that that's really clean. And then all of a sudden, when that's clean, you see the shadowing in here. See what I'm doing? Right on the ridge of the temple. And hold on, I gotta have my... You'll see as it comes together. Little dirt and grime, baby. That's all it is. All right. Now that's a little too much underneath it here. All right. So what I do is I get into tight spots like that. Get into tight spots like that. Where'd they go? Here they are. And you can't get into that right underneath the eyebrow here. Now I want a little dirt on top of the eyebrow to fill in this this shadowy area here. Right, so, but when it comes to right up in here, and a little too much right there. You're looking for that natural dirt look, you know, you're not looking for a little too much in here. All right. And because the fact that this has that protected coating on there, yeah, I'm not going to let that sit as long as I did that time. I only really need to do one good wash. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Okay. All right, so top of the nose has to be clean. A little bit on the flare out right there. Okay, hold on. Now, how do I want to do this lip? I have to do... I have to do a little rub out on the nose and then the crevices of in here. Forgot to do this step. I don't know what it is. The last two, well, I haven't been feeling good, so that's really been my issue. So I'm going to rub out these nose areas and bring out that flesh tone that's underneath of this. Now I have to use lacquer thinner to do that because I already put a coat of that plastic dip on there, but just a mild touch of plastic dip. Oy, oy, oy. do some rub out on the lips. Ah, this stuff stinks. This stuff stinks. Okay. See, once that sits there for a few minutes, that'll soften up this latex paint. It's already coming up on it. It's already coming off. I don't want it running on there though. I definitely don't want it running, so I dab that stuff onto my. There we go. Starting to come off, a little at a time. Time consuming, I can tell you this. This is one of the reasons why I didn't really do a video on how to weather, because it takes time to do this. Takes time. Time is not on my side. Yeah, I think I'm going to get another Q-tip. This is why I went through that 2 bags of Q-tips, was doing this process. And I'm just putting that lacquer thinner like right on the lips. To soften up this paint. Trying to get down to the flesh tone. I needed to do this first, not second. But I just didn't remember, forget. Gotta remember your steps. There we go, I start seeing some flesh tone underneath there now. Just a little bit. So this is starting to dissolve that latex paint, which is good. That's what you want. I mean, I could cheat and paint it with some flesh tone, but I don't want to do that. I want to make this look good without. Do it the right way. Do it the way they did it. Eat it up, baby. Eat it up. Takes time. Takes time. Nothing but time. All right, we should be. All right, now it's time to probably take this sucker off the mold, or take it off the headstand, and rub this really good. Got to get in there with my hands and push up against the this gives it that natural lost the paint look, you know what I mean, where the paint came off or didn't get the right spray on it or something. I don't know what the hell. We're getting there. Another Q-tip. Nothing but time. Might as well do underneath the nose while I'm. Now we're getting there. See, I'm starting to get that flesh tone up inside of here, getting out of that milky, chalky black stuff that I'm not even sure where that's coming from, but maybe it's coming from the, I don't know. It's time consuming, guys. This is why you're paying a lot of money for these masks. You can't get around it. You really can't. I mean, I wish I could get around it myself, where I don't have to do this much work. But once I figured out what I had to do, it was pretty easy once I figured it out. As far as, oh God, this one spot's driving me crazy. There we go. Gone. Just got to really make sure I get this lip up to where it's supposed to be. I don't know if I'm in frame. I hope I am. Getting a little better. A little bit better. Splash up on that. Need something a little bit more abrasive. I think I'm going to use a paper towel. Just to try and get this a little bit right here off. Take a look here. Not quite there yet. Oh. No wonder I'm rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and I can't get it off. It's because we're down to the latex. That's okay. I can work with that. That's as long as I know that I'm. Okay. All right. Just shaking it up onto the. Yeah, as soon as I get this done, I'll do the wash again. I'll get the other side done. That's good enough. Now the eye cracks. You know what? Let's use it. Let's use a sheet. Wrap it around my finger. Come on. Yeah, there we go. See that rubbed out nice. This is going to rub out nice because I got. How do I want to do this? I can apply a lot more pressure on here. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. All right, so let me see. I've been concentrating on what I'm doing here. Let me see what you guys are saying. No, I have another eBay mask sitting over here right behind the camera. That's going to be part two. This is going to be part one. Maybe I might have to make this a part two, but by the time I get done screwing up, um, I just keep forgetting my steps here. You know, it's just like I said, I'm not 100% yet. Just feeling a little lethargic. Come on, man. What's it? All right, let me get a couple Q-tips. Rub in here good, because this is not coming out that well. It's not coming out like the other one did. The other one came right off. And that could be because I had glasses off. I can't. Broke the tip off putting so much pressure on this. I think I got that loosened up enough now so I can really rub out on this. Yeah, it's starting to come off now. Jesus. Another piece of sheet. There we go. There we go. We're getting there now. That side looks a little better than this side, so now I'm going to fix this side. Okay. Dirt and grime is my friend here. And the other thing I want to do, I'm not going through too many Q-tips here, is I need to get this nose a little better. And I have to get the bottom of the lip. The bottom lip is not cleaned off enough. Now, every one of these masks are going to vary just a little bit. I wish I could be that accurate of an artist, where I could be like every one's going to look identical to the other. Wow, man, wouldn't that be cool? But each piece is going to have its own identity. That's what's nice about doing these masks. Um, you know, you're getting a unique piece. You're getting a unique piece. I mean, they're close, but they're not perfect. They're not a perfect match. Right. And to tell you the truth, doing that rub out by rubbing on there, that's how the mask got messed up in the first place. Just it got rubbed out. Hold on. I definitely want to get in here a little bit more. I got to get this. Got to get that paint out of there, out of the out of this area. Oh, that's coming out nice. So once that paint softens up, and this will take paint really nice now, but right here because wiping it down real good. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to wash the other side. I gotta get this. Gotta get this off of here though. Use a little bit of rubbing alcohol and try to get this tip cleaned off. Yeah, I'll have to touch that up. So touch it up. Main thing is let's get the dirt on first. let's get the dirt on first. All right. Throw that away. Throw this away. You just want a dirty wash on it. Now, when you first see this, you're going to be like, "What?" When I first start, when I do this layering thing, you're gonna be like, "How and what?" Yeah, it's not gonna go as you think. It's gonna be a little different than what you think here to get this like this. But I definitely want the shadow in here. Yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be, you're going to be like, "What?" I can guarantee it. But I did the same thing to every one of these masks. What you're seeing right now is what I've done to these other masks, outside of the grinding the eyebrows back into shape. That was a little silly. Um, So I like this extra grime on here that I created, because rubbing this off, I should have done this first. But it gave me a little extra grime, which is cool. Okay. All right, now back to weathering. But first, make sure there's no dust. All right, let's put the cap back on this bad boy, because I got enough dirt and dirt. You know, it's weathered. It's, believe it or not, you'll see. It's hard to explain. All right, so we're gonna wet this bad boy. Now, I'm not going to let this sit on here as long like I did that last one. Instead of drying it really, I got this stuff pretty grimy and dark. Let's try just doing a little bit at a time here, especially in the eye areas, up behind here, in here. Now I'm doing into the eye cuts too. Why not? Give it a natural grime. All right, now paper towel this time. And instead of I think I'm going to use water. Just dampen my towel a little bit. All right, I'm going to wipe that down like that. And then I'm going to hit this with alcohol and rub this down a little better. Especially on your highlight areas. All right, rags are too dirty. Move on to the next. Don't worry, this is just the very first steps here. You're going to be like, oh my God, didn't know it was going to have to take all that, but it takes that all. It takes all that. All I'm trying to do is just put grime on here. This has nothing to do with highlights or shadows or anything. We're just putting grime. Now, what I really want clean are your high points, all your high spots. I want them as clean as possible. The low areas, they get the shadows, they get the grime, but a very light grime. It's not overpowering. It's not a the cheeks have to be clean. You'll see. Now, I didn't do I'm just hitting those high spots. It's hard to see on camera. You really don't see that on camera. Alright, so now we need to brush, we need to paint underneath it here a little bit. Still got a dirty over here. Got a dirty down in this jaw area. And then we start doing the magic. And the magic happens quite fast. All right. I don't want too much dirt on this thing. Just a little. It's like you put a bunch on, and then you end up taking off most of it. Okay, back to application here. And we're going to go right into here. And guess what I forgot to do? That's right, I forgot to put the water on, so we're going to just take that right off. Okay, now back to, I think I'm going to use alcohol on the towel. This is time consuming, guys. This doesn't happen overnight. This is one of the reasons why I haven't really done this video, because it takes so time. It's really time consuming to do this part. Comes to life, slowly but surely. It really does. You'll be like, whoa, now I see what you're saying. All right, let me just give you an example. See how now it's dirty inside that lip crevice there, and it's dirty up underneath the here, and it's nice and bright up in here, and the highlights are popping. That's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to you're accentuate. What's the right word? You're accentuating. Is that the right word? I don't know. I might be saying it wrong. The features, the dark stuff stays into the crevices. You know, now up in here, I'm gonna probably fix that, but especially up in here. And then even in the cheek area, there's a little bit of darkening going on right here. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but natural grime, baby, natural grime, nothing beats it. All right, so now we got to do the side of the face, and then we got to do the chin area a little bit better. Damn it, get off of there. Especially into my, what do you call it here? Got to get inside of that real good. Into the, get into all those little cracks that are there. There's a little bit of beading going on right here where it's not sticking, but that's okay because honestly how I feel about that is it gives you variations. It gives you more variations on how the mask is grabbing that paint. You're thinking, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, man, that's way too dirty. That's way too dirty. I know what you're thinking. Relax. Chill. You will see. You will see. But this takes time. This takes a lot of time. Some people do it differently, and I'd rather spend the time and get that natural weathering look. The magic happens on the last stage. The magic happens, remember that, the magic happens on the last stage. All right. This is just a dirty wash. This is to create variations in color. That's what that's all for. Has nothing to do with the shadings. It's variations in color. For me, that's what I'm doing. This is my own method. I haven't copied this from anybody. This is to create variations in color. All right, we're going to do the chin area. Underneath the chin, down in here. This brush isn't that great. From now on, I'm going to use a different brush. I need new brushes. I got to get some cheap brushes that are a little softer than this. I'll tell you what this brush is. This is for like putting chemicals on and stuff. Um, see, it looks like I'm wiping it all off, doesn't it? And I'm not. Now all of a sudden, I'm going over top of the high spots. And what you're getting is leftover residue. And we're going to do one step better. We're going to put some alcohol on this now. And really pop those high spots. See how that's going? Variations in color. That's all we're doing here. A little bit of dark here, a little light over here, little things like that. Now, before I go any further, I need Q-tip, and I need to fix this eyebrow here with a little rubbing alcohol. And over here, I don't want these dark spots right there. They're a little too dark. A little too dark for my liking. Okay, what are we saying here? Anything cool? Hold on, guys. Let me read your comments. Oh yeah. And maybe one day you guys will try doing your masks. You know? You can't always just watch people do things. You know what I mean? You gotta jump into it, do yourself a favor and okay. Now what I do next, you're gonna get mad. Actually, not yet. I want to do a little bit more washes on here. Create more variations on the neck area. And the back of the neck. I got to do the back of the neck. And this time, I don't have to cover it perfectly. So I'm not going to cover it perfectly. Ooh, which reminds me. Forgot to do my logo. And this, I also remember just now that the reason why I wanted the stiff stiff bristles is to get into these details. in my logo. And especially the blood dripping and stuff like that. You really got to push that in there. I know, John, it's way too dirty. It's way too dirty. That's not an H1. That's not an H1. It ain't yet. Just remember that. Going forward. It ain't yet. All right. Man, I got paint all over my hands. All right, they're done. That one's done. Need a little more paper towels. Wet this area here. Break out the paintbrush again. Variation in colors, baby. That's all we're doing is creating variable color depth. Gives it more depth. Artists, you know what I'm talking about. People that are into art and do art, you know what I'm talking about. I see just a little bit of variation there, just a tiny bit right there. It's like, wow, man, it just changed the way that whole neck looked. It really did. It changed the neck. Yes, indeed. Now, my hands are filthy. I do this next step very, very, very carefully. All right, so now we're on to the next. This is going to be interesting because you're going to be like, what? This is the step that kind of confuses people. Now, this is just my way. Hey, I'm not going to say it's the right way. It's my way. And I haven't picked this up on anybody. I don't see anybody doing it this way. Charcoal time. Now I need Q-tips to do the charcoal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to really darken in the areas right here with the charcoal. Only we're going to make sure we don't overkill because it takes such a little amount of charcoal on the tip of your, and make sure you're right into that. And be in the darkest, and right into the crevice of that. And you're going to say, wow, that's way too dark, John. But it isn't. Now, I don't want to go, I'm not, I'll show you what I'm doing when I get into the, yes, it's very dark. We know this. We know this. Remember, now don't touch that charcoal with your fingers. Now that you've got it on there, leave it alone. Don't touch it. All right. All right, up underneath the nose. Now, never come down on top of the nose. Always just go like right up, because what the actual, when you look at the original movie, the reason why because the nose got scuffed this way. I just want to make sure it's even. It's a little bit more dirt right in the center here. Not much. Now we're going to put the little tiny tip into here. And we're going to get right up underneath of this. And a little bit right into this. All right, now I'm going to feather that out. Ooh, way too much. That's okay. Oh, I can fix that. Last steps fix that. The last step fix that anyway. Okay, so now let me think. All right, I still have to use a little bit more acrylic, like in the eye corners here, but that's okay. Now I want to do. Oh, I need my brush for now. My brush. Oh, my makeup brush. Ooh, I'm not thinking. Oop, too big. I can't see it. There it is. That's the one. Okay, now we start. I know it's like, whoa, what? It's too dark. It's too dark. I know. Bear with me. Okay, now I got too much on here, but that's okay. I'm just going to cover it up anyway, so it doesn't matter. Giving it a very natural look. Natural dirty look. A little dirt. what you're thinking. You're thinking, what the hell is he doing? Told you. Okay, time for a little bit of acrylic into this corners of each eye. Okay. Okay, we're all done. What do you think? We're done. No. That's a makeup brush. That's a makeup brush. Okay. Not really talking too much tonight, am I? Today, am I? Okay. All right, so now I'm going to take just a little bit of acrylic and a sharp brush. I'm done with that. And before I go on and do anything crazy like touch the mask too much, I want to make sure. All right, so we need just black acrylic here. I'm only doing a little bit. I'm not going crazy. Just a drop. That's all I need. And I need to get it right into that little. Wipe off the excess because you got to get inside of here. And I just want to put a little line right in here. Right into the darkest spot, right into the deepest spot. It's all right. I wanted to, hell, I got an idea. Ooh, not a good idea. All right, never mind. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll do both sides. Need a better brush for this. I got to get one of those real pointy brushes. I don't have another. I'm actually out of them. That's the problem. I have them, but I don't. They're too. I blow through them too quick. Okay. That's it for the acrylic. Now a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Now I'll use the point first to create the line. Get your finger on it. Wipe that away. Now this is where you blow through a lot of your Q-tips because of the, I should have put the acrylic on before I started chalking or charcoaling this. But I'll make it work. I'll just make the shading blend. See what I'm doing here? I'm blending the shading. Charcoal doesn't want to come off very easily, that's for sure. That's good enough. Now I got to do the other side. Jesus. Really? For that, I don't want to waste another one of those, so I'm going to take a little paper towel, a little alcohol. Come on, good. Let me see. I want to do a little bit of this acrylic on this stiff brush. This is what this brush is for. It's so I want it really dark, like right in the crevice here. Right where the two lips come together, I want that real dark in there. Now all this little mess right here, just going to take another Q-tip and a little bit of alcohol. blend it, but I want to dry that brush off just a little bit. Work that way, huh? I hate wasting all these Q-tips because you go through a lot of them. You go through a lot, you really do. Now, I want the sheet. Throw the Q-tip away. I'm just trying to clean up as I go. All right, we're done with the chalk. And you're probably thinking, man, you have destroyed this mask. I'm going to read your comments in a second, guys. If there are any. You guys have been kind of quiet today. I gotta let that dry just a little bit. All right, let's see what you're saying. I gotta let that dry. I can dry it up quicker. Forgot one feature. I don't want to read your comments. And I gotta go real light with the powder. Okay. And I'll play into this. All right, let's dry that thing up, and then we got to go outside. If you haven't figured out what I'm going to do next, I think you're not paying attention. All right, first, before we go outside, let's read some comments. That can go in the trash. And my cap fell someplace. Where's my cap for my... That can go in the trash. Oh, there it is. My alcohol. My alcohol cap, because that'll evaporate pretty quick. All right, let me grab grab my glasses so I can see these comments if there are any. I didn't do the ink wash. I remember I was talking to you about that, but I want to do that. I want to experiment with that on a different mask. I know it's alcohol based and it probably would dissolve instantly with alcohol, but I want to make sure, and I have some old masks that are behind me here, that I can experiment with that before I go and do this. I'm doing this method just because I know this works. But before I go outside and do the final touches, and I'll be spraying your hair, Pipe Master. That's going to be the last thing I do. Yes, wow. Now this is going to be the part one, Pipe Master. Okay, so you guys didn't really comment anything else. So that's good because in a way, I got to get busy with this. Let me see. I want to make sure this is dry. Yeah, that looks pretty dry. Now, the reason why, you'll see why I've darkened this even more. I've left a little bit of the flesh tone popping through too, but I've darkened the undercut of the nose, and you'll see how like I darkened here and it gets lighter as it goes down. And on this side, kind of the same thing, but it fades out up into the cheek area. But before I do anything further, I want to clean my hands, and I need a paper towel and some of this stuff over here, and we're done with that. We're done with this brush. We're done with everything here except for one thing. Clean up and take this outside. This camera's not on the stand. Yep, we're good. Just double checking, you know what I mean? Just double checking. All right, let me take this lid off of here, clean my hands, because I don't want to have a lot of chalk and dirt and paint and stuff on my hands when I'm handling the mask outside. Definitely don't want to splash it on the mask either. Taking the camera right out with me outside. A little bit more. I just don't want anything coming off on my hands. All right, that's as clean as they're going to get today. All right, I'm going to go use the restroom real quick. First, I'm going to untie this extension cord off of here because we're not using the plug for the phone. I'm going to get through, use the restroom. I'll be right back, and you will see the final step after this. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, guys, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the final step, and we have to go out back. Man, there's a huge delay. I don't know why, but man, I'm still looking at the... There's a large delay between what I'm doing right now and what's about to happen. Okay, going out back with the mask and some paint. Whew, man, it's hot out here today. It's hot. This is where it all comes together right here. You know what? I've got to clean that bucket. That bucket's got way too many bugs. I don't need them getting caught up into my air gun. I'm pretty sure you figured out what I'm doing. Fill the bucket back up. filled. Now I gotta turn the air compressor on, let that crank up a little bit. Well, the lights kind of sucks out here. Well, let me turn this air compressor back on. And somebody keeps unplugging it instead of just shutting the switch off. Drives me crazy. Nothing bother me. Make it harder on me all the time. What I'll do, so I'm not blocking your view. There's 6 on, we're getting ready to blend this baby back together. Yep. All right, cool. The next thing I'm going to go do is triple check. I want to make sure I'm not spraying a lot of paint. Made a wider spread of paint. Stand back. I want the mask a little bit downward. I've got my gun up. I don't think it's in frame, but I got it up and away from the mask. That's about right. I'll have to go a little more into the eyebrows, but I got to do that on a second coat. So, just going to sit here next to you, and we got to wait for this sucker to dry a little bit. Now what that did was give you a lot of depth. And this is why, Pipe Master, if you're on still, this is why it's so important that I don't do too many layers of that latex, because that's the final coat. It gets one more coat of latex. And then from there, because I put such a real small amount of plasti dip on there, there's still a lot of latex that wasn't covered. So it still grabs. Yep. Yeah, it's looking a little better. I just gotta let it dry now. We gotta let that coat dry. That should take a few minutes. Hurry up and wait, right? And then I'm gonna refine into a couple areas. And then I go back and I touch up just a couple of small areas, like into the eye socket area. I have to gray that a little bit. Might have to feather in a little bit more charcoal into spots when I'm done, finally done painting it. But there's no more paint to be put on here. That was it, a little bit. Now see what that did was it created shade underneath of the coat. You know, that's locked in now, all that shading and everything that's inside of this. You'll see it. I'll still have to add a little more charcoal, but not a lot. And then I just seal it with the plasti dip. And there's 5 people on. All right, I'm going to zoom back out. It's a warm day out here today. So who's on? I did an acrylic wash, Steve. No, this is getting done in an H1. There would have been yellows used in the washes if I had done the Halloween 2. I still got to do the ink. I'm going to do that as soon as I get done painting this guy. I'm going to do the ink and put it in your hair. We're going to mist the hair with the airbrush. And I'm also going to fix Crusher's mask. God, are you guys on? Say something, man, because it's weird. Crusher, Pipe Master, you still with me? Because I mean, the last text I got was from Steve, and that's at 2:25. I don't even know what time it is now. So, yeah, man. I gotta go take my medicine. I forgot. I always forget because I'm constantly moving, constantly busy. That's okay. I can go inside. I'll take you guys. Actually, I'm just going to leave you out here and watch paint dry. I'll put the phone on here while I go take my medicine real quick. I'll go take my medicine and we'll come back out and we'll do the final spray on this. I think it'll be dry within a minute or two. Won't take much longer. Yeah, I have to look over the mask real good before I go and put that added spray. I may just do the eyebrows with, okay, yo, Pipe Master, you're with me still. Okay, cool. Yep. So this is how this paint job's achieved, you know. it's a lot of time. It really is. You know, you're talking. There's 149 minutes I've been on so far. Whew. So let me go inside and take my medicine. It'll only take me about 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most. Let this thing dry. Putting you back on the stand for a sec. Hold on. What'd you say? I couldn't see what you said. Hold on. Rod Lane, what's up, buddy? I'm actually putting the final touches on my night creeper. This is a little wet right now. I'm going in to go get my medicine, take my meds, and I'll be right back out to put the final spray. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's going to need it. I don't think it's going to need it. The more I look at it, it looks like I might have to put a little bit more white right in this area. The eyebrows I'm going to have to brush in with a paintbrush and this latex paint. And then I'll probably have to do a little bit more charcoal around the eyes. I definitely have to put acrylic around the whole eyes on the inside. But I definitely have to. I saved that for last this time. I didn't bother putting the acrylic in there and then spray painting it and then have to do it over again. So save myself the step. I've got the shadowing done, and then there's a white coat of paint that went over top of it, a very light coat to seal it. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It gives it more depth. It looks like the way I'm doing this, it looks like it's been airbrushed when it's all said and done, and it's not. It's all hand painted by brushes, and yes, a big air sprayer. That's it. All right, let me go take my medicine. Be right back, guys. Don't move. Don't move. Okay, I'm back. Let me go check my side door, make sure I shut it, because it's so damn hot out here. I did. Good to go. It's humid out here. It is drying, but it's not drying real quick. Let me take a look. Yeah, this needs a little bit more paint right in here. I'll make sure it's up in that direction so I can... Everything else looks good. All right, so we'll take the phone off and we'll hang out. Talk to me, guys. Have you learned anything today? I'm just curious. Okay, Rod. You might have to watch this from the beginning because this is a complete paint job, Rod. This was the weathering. This mask looked extremely white. Can't message much. I got you, Pipe Master. That sounds good. Now I have another mask curing. A couple more days, and then I'm going to paint that to look like the Halloween 2. Oh yeah. Almost. I can still see little spots that are a little wet on the mask. Almost dry though. And I gotta really be careful on how much I put on that area. I don't want to overdo it because I don't want to lose it. I don't want it to turn white again. It's not the objective here. It's the layering that matters. So, oh yeah. Yeah, quite a few people on here. We got 5 people kind of watching what I'm doing. Okay, it's ready. Just going to touch just a little bit on there. I'll put you back on the stand, and you can watch that kind of resolve, or kind of that dark area kind of disappear just a little bit. And I got to sneak it in, really sneak it in. Better, much better. Same with that side. That's it. All right, let's clean the airbrush. Not airbrush, the air gun. All right, so that's drying. Push this back a little bit. Actually, I'm going to move this for a minute because this is going to get like splashing water a little bit. But that's how that looks. See, the shadowing's just right. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. All right. I got to put this over on this table while I clean this airbrush, put the paint back. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks good. All right, so we need to unplug that for a sec. For a sec. Put that over there. Do this. Now what I usually do is stick that right into the water here, right into the bucket. Sit there. Put the remainder of my paint back into the bottle. And watch me do it. About the consistency of buttermilk, the latex paint. And that's enough. That's enough. Alright, so the next thing I do is I wash out this container in the bucket. Fresh, clean water. Alright, that's done. Now let's hook up my air supply again. Siphoning the water right out of the bucket here and let it go through the air gun. How I know it's clean is because the water is dripping out of here is now clear, and the water and some water coming out of the gun. So that's clean. Put that back over the paint done. Ready for the next job. So now I'm going to go shut the air compressor off because I don't need it no more. And we can put our mask back where you guys can stare at it. And it can stare back at you. It's almost dry. Make sure it's looking at the camera. Like that. A little touch up right there, that's okay. I think I hit it with my thumb or something. Let's lower it. There you go. Whew. The shading looks really nice. It does. I'm like looking at this. I'm like, whoa, okay, it looks really good. I don't think I have to do too much charcoaling too. Not much. It's looking good. A couple spots I have to hit with a paintbrush, and that's the eyebrows. That's obvious. I'll have to touch them up with the eye. A little bit of shadowing, not much. You know what? I'm going to lower the phone. I can leave it on the stand while you're looking at it. I'll lower it. Actually, I don't need to lower it anymore. It's actually in a perfect position. Really, Rod? You've been there the whole time, huh? I didn't know that. Sorry, Rod. So, yeah, I can only see how many people are on. It doesn't really say who's on until they comment. Yeah, the blending's nice. It turned out really nice. I'm happy. The shading looks good now. I mean, it looks a lot different than what it was in the room, don't it? That was looking pretty rough. And the neck is now balanced underneath it here with the white. I knew that was going to be balanced out when I did the down spray. I was going to hit that neckline a little better. It's still nice and nice, Rod. Damn, man, are you off today? I'm curious. A lot of people are working. I got Pipe Master. He joins me, and I don't want to say that. No, let me refrain in case somebody else is watching him, and it's, you know, I'll just keep that one quiet. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, this is going to be really nice when this is done too. It's gonna be a nice mask. Oh, I see. Yeah, some of you guys are stuck kind of, you have to listen, you can't really watch. I get it. That's why I do a lot of talking. And when you hear me not talking, I'm in deep concentration, and that's all right. You've heard everything I've said, and you can always go back and watch the video once I upload it later on tonight. I'm going to continue with this. As soon as it dries, we're going back into the studio, and we are going to finish this, and I'm going to mist the hair with my airbrush with some black ink on Pipe Master's finished mask. And then I'm going to seal it, one last seal coat. I think I did do that. I think I sealed it already. We're good. We don't need to do any sealant. That's right, I did do the sealant. Last night I sealed it. So I have to fix the eyebrows on here, maybe a little bit of shadowing, not much, just a little bit. And then I should be ready to roll. This mask will go on eBay. This one's gonna go on eBay. I'm probably going to hair this thing off camera. I'm not going to bother putting, you just seen, I'm going to use the exact same hair scheme that I did the Pipe Masters on this one here. Yep. There's no point in having 15 videos on doing the exact same thing. So, I mean, I could go live and then just not upload the video. That's something I can do. I can do that and talk to you guys, and that's what I will do, as a matter of fact. I can always do that. That's always fun. I can chat with you guys. You got any questions while I'm working? When I go to hair this mask, I'm just not going to upload the video, that's all. There's no point to it. Unless I come up with a better way of doing it. Then I'll do another video hairing another mask with a better scheme. But this is almost dry. We are almost there. I can just see a little couple spots that are shining, a little shiny. It's like in the ear crevices and stuff like that I'm looking at. You can't see that on the side, but I can. Wow, that's got a nice look. I may not even mess with this outside of putting more paint on the eyebrows. I definitely have to do that. So, let's see, anything else? Yeah, this is Friday. Everybody's working. You know, I'll be doing my videos again tomorrow. I'll be doing something else. I don't know exactly what I'm doing tomorrow, but maybe it'll be hair in the mask. Maybe it'll be herring this. Or maybe I'll do that, and I also have to start painting the other mask. I might wait another day. I might do that on Sunday. Sunday it should be cured enough to where it's nice and stiff, the mask. It's a thinner casted mask too, the one that I did the other day, which is good. I don't want the mask too thick because then I'm wasting a lot of latex. So, anyway, I think we're ready to go into the room. Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's go do this. Let's get her done. And I'll have to readjust my... See how this looks without the bright lights. Or without the bright sunlight. It'll give me a better idea of what I want to do. Oh, wow. Look at that off-color blue. It's like a blue-white. Wow, man, that's nice. That turned out nice. Okay. In the room we go. Don't want my mask in the direct sunlight for any length of time. Okay. That's where my stand goes. This is where this guy's going. Shut the door. Since we're back into the... Wow, there's such a long delay. Huh. No wonder you're not answering right away, because you're seeing such a long delay on my stream. I think I know what the problem is, why there's such a long delay. It's because, I mean, I'm still spray painting. I'm looking at the footage I'm looking at my YouTube channel, and I'm still spraying the mask outside. That's how much of a delay there is. It is crazy. I don't know, maybe it's just my link. I don't know. So, oh, I forgot the paint. Let me go outside and grab the paint. I need my white paint to finish off the eyebrows, touch up the little spots. Ah. Get a smooth brush to finish it off. Okay. Man, is it sticky and hot out there today? It really is. All right, so I got this nice brush that I can use over here. And I'm done with the, no I'm not. No, I'm not. Let's do the eyebrows first. I'll take my glasses off. I'm just now cleaning my gun. It's showing on the screen on my monitor. That's funny. I'm already in the room, set up to fix this paint job. Yeah, it looks good enough right there. And there's this little spot here that's driving me crazy. Okay. So, do I do alcohol? Yeah, I think I'll do alcohol with this. Trying to get this off of there. Too thin, not thin enough. Okay, so what we gotta do, actually, just lightly dry brushing in a couple spots that need my attention. works for me. And now we need a couple drops of alcohol. Not much. Just to clean my brush off. I know, latex paint, but the alcohol takes it off too. Oh yeah, it's nice and clean now. All right. All right, first things first, we got to do the acrylic job on this thing. And that means I'm going to use pure acrylic on a paper towel. What am I doing with the towels? There they are. First, let's put, now I better not put that away yet until I'm done. Completely done. Because this mask does not look good unless it's shadowed. Hate to say it, you gotta have the shadows. Some people think that it's unnecessary, but I disagree, because it just doesn't look good without the shadows. Alright, so what do I want to do here? I think what I'm going to do first, I know where there it is. I just want to put a little chalk into these eye socket areas. Just a little bit, not a lot. Ever so light. All these other areas I'm happy with. I don't have to mess with those at all. Don't have to mess with them at all. It's just the eyes. Just in the eye areas. Alright, what am I doing? Don't go down in there yet. We got to get the acrylic on there first. Get the acrylic on there first. Then we'll fix the little spots that are still not quite dark enough. Alright, so we got this guy here like this, and let's just put this cap on there. Because if I knock that over, forget about it. It ain't never coming off of the floor. It'll never come off. Alright, so let's do the acrylic paint job on the inside the eye sockets. I always work from the very furthest point in the back of the eye cuts and work forward. And I really can't mess with this mask until this stuff dries. sure I wrecked this mask. Well, I wouldn't wreck it. I just fixed it. I cleaned it, that's all. Not comfortable. It has a lot to do with it. Get a sharper point. That one's done. When you go into here, you have to have that sharp point. I'm going to go into there first before I go anywhere else. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get a new Q-tip. Is I'm going to use some alcohol. Dip the heel. Call that the heel section right here. And touch it on my shirt a little bit so I don't want it over wet. That's a little better. A little bit more out of there. I don't like that being too. Perfect. New Q-tip. Dab on my shirt a little. There's the other side. Clean off a little bit of excess here. Okay. Now, actually not okay. Okay, now it's okay. Back to the acrylic. want this to dry before I go any further. Make sure I didn't miss nothing on any one of these masks. Yes, I did. I missed right here. Up top. That looks good. Man, that looks really good. Okay. It's just one little spot that's, two spots that's bothering me just a tad bit. Okay. I'm just going to clean this brush off just a little bit. Oh man, Jesus. One little spot turns into a nightmare. Alright, let's use the point. Let's see what happens. Q-tip. Touch that up with a little paint. Yep, because this This outside is so light of a coat that, of course, I've got to touch this up now. We don't need this brush. Well, yeah, we do. I just don't want it in the acrylic. Alright, so I need to, a little bit of new paint, just a tad bit. Not worried about being too white right there, because I'm going to shadow it in, but I got to have it dry. That fast, that stuff dries. Okay, that fixed that. Perfecto. Love it when a plan comes together. Alright, so we need a little bit of rubbing alcohol again. Just a splash, because I want to keep my brushes fairly clean. That works for me. That can go to heck. That can go to heck. Okay. Now, what am I going to shade? I have to shade into these areas, so I'm going to really make sure I don't have barely anything on the brush. not too much. I think we're there. I have to do a little white brush right over top of this. This is just a little too weird. It's same thing with that side. Just a little inconsistent. Okay. Back to the white paintbrush. This works. You can hear that owl out there, man. It's just like I'm kind of creeping for Halloween, man. I'm like, oh yes. You can hear a hoot owl in the in my backyard. Hoot that owl. It's a little owl out there. It's been there for weeks. And it just reminds me of the fall. Yeah, that looks good. I'm done. I'm done. That did me in. That works. That looks really nice. Yeah, man. That's the finished job right there. Just a little too dark in here. Let me see if I can. Either this is too dark or that's too light. I'll go with too dark. Almost balanced. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy guy. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to mess with any more shading in there because I think I got the white covering it just right. So, but I do have to touch up a little shading right here where a white paint got, like this little dab of white paint. Just got to feather it in a little bit so it disappears. Just a little. Sealant time. It is over. That is the finished paint job. Wait a minute. A little too much darking right in here. Better. Just that little tiny bit of shading was affecting the look. Just that little bit too much. Just a touch. Just a touch. And that is a finished mask. Finished paint job. That is a finished paint job. Now we have to spray paint ink. We got to spray paint the ink onto, mist the ink onto Pipe Master's hair. Okay, so we have this guy out of the way. First, I'm going to go seal this with a little bit of, I'm going to go out back real quick. And I'm just going to go on the, right around the corner here. I already got the can out there. I just have to, done. It don't take much. You don't put a lot of plasti dip on this. You just put a little bit, because you want it. You want the plasti dip to be separated a little bit. You don't want like a completely smooth coating of plasti dip, and I'll tell you why. You want a broken, like microscopic spray of plasti dip, because you don't want, the plasti dip will peel right off if you make it too thick. It'll peel right off that mask. But if it's just kind of like spotted all over the mask as a mist, it won't peel off the mask because it's broken. It's not, you know, it's not one solid piece. So that's really what happens with the plasti dip. Plasti dip's only good if you put a very light misting on it. You can't put a real hard spray on it. Should I dirty up the yeah, maybe I will. I got a little bit of chalk here. Just a tad bit, especially in the front. Just a little. It's almost as Nick Castle or Dick Warlock were carrying the mask. Well, no, this is a Halloween one. So he was carrying a mask with his spray painted fingers from carrying the hair, carrying the mask by the hair. I'm using what powder I have left. That don't matter, you're going to see that anyway. I don't want to waste any of this stuff. Wow, man. It just takes it to another level. It really does. Just that little bit of extra brush work there. Solid. Okay, what are you guys saying? Almost dropped my glasses into the trash along with all those chemicals. You're working and listening. I love it. Even so, okay. Okay, so pretty much done, guys, with this paint job. I'll give you a once look over on this. so you can see it real good. That is the finished paint job. That is the process of how you age a Michael Myers 78. The 20, right, what am I going to say? The 1981 Halloween 2 mask, there's a lot more colors added to this to really make it pop. A lot more dimension. But this is basically a fish belly white paint and charcoal and some black acrylic paint. That's all I use, charcoal and black acrylic paint. And the rest is the natural fish belly white, the flesh tone that was put on underneath of everything. And that's it. That is the finished 78. This just needs herring, but first I gotta seal this. And I want to seal it so it doesn't get messed up. So I'm gonna go seal it real quick. And very light misting. You guys hang on 1 second, and then we're gonna break out. We're gonna spray paint the hair with some ink. I'm getting a little lethargic. Like I said, I'm still not 100%, guys. So I'm gonna break out the ink as soon as I spray this. Be right back. You don't need to see this process. This is nothing. All right, that's sealed. But it's got to be out of the way because I definitely don't want to get black ink on this. So I'm going to go put this out in my living room on the stand next to the other masks. And let's get to inking the hair. Okay. All right, first things first. Gotta clean my hands again. All right, I'm back. Okay. All right, so while I'm here, all right, this is the airbrush. Now you see that, how these two points come together right at the tip, right where my thumbnail is? That just sucks the paint up from the bottle and then blows it forward. This thing is great for doing base coats, like the white paint and the flesh tone. I'll be able to use this in the house under a much lower pressure. I won't use the big air sprayer. I'll be able to use my, not that airbrush, but I'll be able to use my compressor in here, and I'll be able to spray paint with the 7-piece quick change airbrush kit. And since it's under low pressure, you don't have to worry about the hose, because these hoses are cheap. They come with this thing. But you can connect this thing right up and get the job done with no problem. Okay, so let's put you back on the stand. Sorry that I keep getting this stupid phone call. I just blocked it, and it's nothing but a damn scam artist anyway. It's a scam. I don't get it. They call you. I don't even understand what, you know, all our vehicles are paid for. We don't have any vehicles that are under warranty for sure. I paid off my truck last year, and this past February, and I own my truck outright now, so that's good. I definitely don't have a warranty under it. That's for sure. So I've been paying for it for 7 years. I finally paid it off. That was my Tundra. I'm not in any debt, and I keep getting this same stupid phone call, and they keep using different numbers. So hopefully they don't keep harassing me. I think they give up at some point. Might be an automated caller or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to this. Let's get to inking. Let's get the stinking inking. All right, so here's my black ink. Only use such a little amount with this. All right, so I need my compressor hooked up to the gun. This ain't gonna take long, guys. It really isn't. It's not gonna take long at all to do this. It takes more time cleaning the gun than it does to actually use the gun. So now we're gonna put that here. Put that there. And we need to put a little ink in here. Actually, wait a minute. Where's my little depository? That's so I can clean this out. I'll blow that in here, and then the air comes through this. But I also use it for my yeah. This is going to be like no time at all doing this. And, you know, the one thing I want to do to this is driving me crazy is pouring this out. It's not pouring out real nice because I don't have that plastic tip off. I need my glasses back off my head so I can see what I'm doing. please come off all the way. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. They really stuck that on there so good. That little, all right, so we don't, it shook up. Just got to pour a little bit into my cup here, if I can keep it in the cup. Wow, man. Of course, got it all over my fingers. All right, now let me get another paper towel and a little bit of alcohol, because it's alcohol-based ink. It'll wipe right off with the alcohol on a paper towel. Now, saying that this is alcohol-based ink, I wouldn't advise drinking while playing Michael Myers, because if you get alcohol in the hair, you will have no black ink on your hair. So you have to be sober when you play Michael Myers. I'm kidding. No, it is activated with alcohol, so do yourself a favor and make sure. I mean, that ink won't come off unless you hit alcohol, unless alcohol hits it. Pretty funny though. Alcohol ink. Alcohol-based ink. Now I'll clean this extra good. When I'm done. All right, the next thing I got to do is turn the air compressor on. There it goes. Just leave it in here while we're waiting. Then I'll pull the mask over. And I might as well put the bottle of water away. I'll put that right there. And yeah, that's already. I've disappeared. Okay. I'm going to restart the, I'm going to restart it. I keep getting phone calls. I was getting this phone call over and over and over again. It was driving me crazy. So let me start it over to do this hair. I'll be right